Facts on boxing. So it happened just like they said it would. Alexander Povetkin found a way to knock out David Price, which is not that hard to do, is it? David Price, I think that's the end of his career. But for so long, it looked like this might be his fight. Now, to begin with, on paper, Povetkin was always going to be the favourite. He was always going to win by knockout. But David Price has a punch, and that punch could be his get out of jail free card. In the third round, I mean, the first two rounds, you're only just looking for signs of David Price's confidence, because that's the one thing he's lacked. He doesn't have as much confidence in himself and his firepower as other top level fighters do. Because even with his suspect chin, you would still favour him if he was aggressive and believed in his punch. You would still favour him to get to his opponent before they get to him, being 6'8" and being a decent boxer. But he just doesn't have belief in his... He just doesn't want to fight. If it comes down to that, David Price does not want to fight, and I think we'll see him retire. But yeah, 6'8", fighting against Povetkin at 6'2", it always looked like he can box him for a little bit, biding his time to land that right hand. He got his shot in at the end of the third round after he'd picked himself up off the canvas, and it looked like if he jumps on Povetkin in the fourth, that might be his best chance of winning. But he let Povetkin off the hook. Povetkin survived and went on to later catch him in the fifth round, got him out of there. Brutal knockout. I think this is the end of the road for David Price. There's no disgrace in losing to a fighter of Povetkin's level, but the 5 knockout losses is a lot. At any level of boxing, you don't want to continue for very long after you've had your 5th knockout loss. I think it's a fitting time at 34 years old. It's a fitting time for David Price to hang him up. Now, on to the Justin Gatlin of boxing. I think the neutrals wanted Povetkin to lose this one because, let's be honest, he's a disgraceful drug cheat. Like, disgraceful. He's, as far as boxing goes, I know there's a lot of fighters dabbling in it in boxing, but Povetkin has been one of the more blatant cases of it, and he just seems to always find a way back, and now he's found his way back to near mandatory status, so I think it's the WBA he's in line for. And yeah, now he's back in the mix, now he's a factor again. At his age and with his relative lack of size, we know he's not going to be a threat to Anthony Joshua or Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder, the very top of the division. I doubt he even gets past to Dillian White, and he's neck and neck with like Jerome Miller and fighters like that at his current level. But it's just a shame to see that a fighter who, yeah, consistently cheated, you know, he finds his way back into these positions, whereas there's a lot of fighters trying to fight their way up to there, and for one reason or another can't make it there. So it's a bit of a shame, but the amount of times David Price was able to hurt him today show you that Povetkin is not a top fighter. At 38 years old, he's got not that much more to offer. Nothing personal against the man, but the sooner he leaves boxing, the better. Because the last thing we need is, you know, Justin Gatlin's finding their way to the top of the sport. Facts on boxing.